Testing, testing, one, two, one, two. So I wanted to talk about something that happened to me last week. That I went to the doctors. Now, beforehand, this is about kind of like my weight journey or my diet, and I went to the doctors last week. I just said, look, I have some digestion problems, something on my stomach that is not right. I don't think I'm eating, changing my diet. I'm having a few issues. Obviously, when you acting not acting abnormal with your diet, then obviously there's something wrong, and you want to see a professional person who obviously which is a doctor. So I went there, and he looked at me and said, "Look, doctor, I have maybe troubles of digesting certain foods. I eat certain foods, and then it takes me very long hours to digest. Naturally, when I was younger, or well, a lot younger." You normally a human when it comes to consumption and burn its calories or burn your digestion, it should be around 3 hours to 4 hours. So how come when I eat certain foods or maybe like a curry like rice and the curry and then some maybe a naan bread, it takes me 8 to 10 hours to digest so I can function again. It's very long periods of time that I'm able to digest the whole food, which that is it's very abnormal. It's not natural. So obviously there's an issue. So he said, okay, the first thing you gotta do, you gotta go and weigh yourself. I was like, oh, here we go. Now, before we get to that, I had when I started this year, I had plans that I wanted to lose weight. So when I started, I kind of felt good about myself last year because I lost 10 kilos. And all I did was I cut down bread and like cereals, like certain heavy foods, and then I lost down 10 kilos, and I was fantastic. So I was 108, no, sorry, 100, yeah, 108 kilos, and I got down to 98 kilos. So that's really decent. But obviously, I was working in a physical role then, which I was had to do have to move around a lot, so I lost a lot of weight with that. So I was very pleased the results I was having. So this year I thought I'm gonna commit myself, and I'm really gonna begin to cut down these foods, and then slowly I can build up something that I'm able to lose weight. So I had a long term plan just before June this year, and I thought it was going as planned, because what I wanted to do is that I wanted to surprise myself, if that makes sense. So I wanted to have this diet going on. I would go like train in the gym and do some running, and then by April I should weigh myself, and then I want to go, whoa, oh, what a surprise! I lost, maybe 20 kilos or something like that. That's what I wanted. So, I was doing all that, and to be honest with you, I felt great. I was mobile. I felt great. I slept better. It was good. It was good for me, and I thought I was losing weight. I felt a little bit light, and I was fantastic. Well, now to the present time, like from last week, I thought, all right, I have to weigh myself. Now, the expectation that that I was thinking of be at would be 95 kilograms. I was comfortable with that, like 95, 94, because I thought it's been about 7 weeks or 6 weeks. Obviously, it wasn't like a perfect structure that I did in 7 weeks, but it was a nice. I try my best because with me, my issue is I can't go cold turkey, and that's a fact. You can't, like, when you start a diet, you just can't go cold turkey because you have like 99% of failing unless you're very strong minded. But in my case, I can't. I have to do it very slowly. So I was doing so well, and then I weighed myself. Guess how much I weighed? 104 kilograms. I saw it right there in my eyes, and I was like, "June, man, I nearly cried." That's how bad it was. I was looking to myself and just watching them numbers being there, and just couldn't hide it anymore. I was just like, when you just get something so shocking in yourself that I was like, "What now? What am I gonna do now?" When I thought this was going so well, doctor naturally saw that. He said, "Oh, you lost some weight." Last time you were here, which that was maybe over a year ago, you were 108 kilos, so you lost quite a bit of weight, so that's good. And I'm thinking, you have no idea what I've been doing for the past 6, 7 weeks. That I've just been training that you don't know about. But obviously, I didn't say that to him because I was just processing and everything was just overwhelming for me. And it was disappointing. And then he said, "Look, you gotta lose weight." I was like, "Well, what else is there new?" So him saying that, I was just like, I know, I have to lose weight. Um, I'm trying, but it's not good enough. So I said to him, what is like the weight expectation for you to be for you expect me to be? Now the doctors would just give you a thrown number. He said you have to do you have to be 80 kilograms. Because obviously my height and my structure, I'm like 5'11". So due to my height and structure, I'm supposed to be 80 kilograms or less. Because that's like the natural weight, walking weight that I should be. Not 104 that I'm currently now, because that is considered, you tell any government body will say that is obese, and it's right. I mean, I'm carrying too much weight, like 24 kilograms of extra weight. Have you ever been to like the gym and you lifted up a dumbbell of 20 kilograms, 24 kilograms? That is what I'm carrying. I'm carrying that excess weight all the time. I'm sleeping with it, I'm walking around with it, I'm running with it, I'm going to the gym with it. And you think, and then obviously I thought maybe I felt great because of the body fat. Now when I first started the journey as well, I was 40% body fat. Now you know that that's unhealthy for any person. 40% body fat in your body is not healthy. Then I got down to 30, so that's really good. But now I checked again in the present time, and I was 29. I just lost 1% body fat within a period of 6 or 7 weeks. That's just so disheartening. And you think, what am I gonna do here? Like, everybody lives a complex life, right? Everybody have some easy time. Everybody know. I'm just like, I'm trying my best, and I think that was the best option. And then when it shows you that all you think you did for the past 6, 7 weeks has just been like coasting, just floating your way, but not losing any. It was just disappointing, really. So the doctors obviously say, look, you gotta get down to 80. And obviously, I saw he sees me that I was a bit like in disbelief, and he said, "Look, try losing. Like, let's just get down to 100. So 104 to 100. That's a comfortable working weight that you can do." And it is, but it's just so disappointing. I thought that what I had planned was really worth it, was really ideal for it, but yeah, it wasn't the case. He recommended me to have smaller meals, very light meals, within small periods of times. I said, what if I do kind of like intermediate fasting? So I don't eat for long periods of time, let's say 18 hours minimum, or and then trying to eat there. And he says something about the lactic acid just build up or something. So I was like, I guess I wouldn't mind working the small meals, but I think that the way about it is, I don't. Do you know how long it takes for prepping? Even just the small meals, you constantly be in the kitchen like 2 or 3 times a day. Or maybe if you plan for the whole long period, I know you cook once or twice a week, but that would be like if you want like chicken and rice and broccoli. That's what many other people does. So I was like, now that's, I mean, he sent me to other things, obviously for scanning and do some testing, just to confirm that there's nothing else going on, like inside my body. Let's say something in my abdomen or my stomach. So soon we'll be getting get tested on that. So I went home. Obviously, you have a day for evaluating, but unfortunately that day I was just very down on the dumps. I went off the rails that day. I have to say that, yeah, I got myself a takeaway. I think it was like comfort food, which you buy yourself and just just to eat, because you think, 6, 7 weeks you're trying and you're not having certain things, and then suddenly the result shows and you're not getting what you want. So you just say screw it. So that's what happened to me last week. But yeah, man, it's what happened. But then again, given the hours, you kind of evaluate and you think, you do question yourself. Okay, so it wasn't successful. That's fine. But let's see the positive and the negatives. On one end, I didn't lose no weight. It is what it is. I didn't lose any weight. And you gotta understand that the main purpose on things or what you do and the goals you do, you want to see progress. It's the only way. So you want doing something, you want to do a test, you need to see progress that you are able to. It gives like us beings of just able to have that extra push. It's like, oh, I'm seeing these results. Let's carry on. Let's see these results, and maybe some epic failures, but yeah, the motivation and having results. That's what keeps the person motivated, and that's a fact. So you see, like the difference. So I did question myself, right? I haven't lost any more weight. That's fine. So obviously, it's clearly something wrong with me because it's what I take and what I've done, and and then you think, if I didn't do this training or trying to, not eat less or eat certain foods, I could have been back at the up the weight of 108 to 110 kilograms, and I feel a lot worse to myself. And I could live the past of just getting gradually worse throughout the years. So in a way, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, because then again, it is February, and then the goal is in June. So February, March, April, May, June. So there's still time to lose a certain amount of weight before June, because obviously I want to go on holiday and feel, look great. So it's not too late. I'm just thinking that if I ignored it and I carry on the way I was, I probably would be maybe a tiny bit, probably 100 kilograms by April, and then I would be really disappointed, and that would be the turning point of many people just saying, "Screw it, I can't be asked no more. I tried, and screw it." So, is in a way, it's in a good place, but yeah, yeah, it was a bit disappointing that day. Now, like I'm back on track. It's like the beginning of the week, and definitely back on track. But now I'm kind of more curious of what to take. But yeah, the goal is to get down from 104 to 80 kilograms. That's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight. I just wanted to express it because it's just been on my mind, and I'm thinking, how many people are there who has been trying to lose weight and they just can't? They just can't, or they try different methods and just don't work for them, and the disheartening that you get, and that's what's going to me right now. Like the disheartening of thinking, I wake up early in the morning to do this running 3 or 5 miles, running, walking, and then in the afternoon to go gym to do exercise, stretch, and everything, and then just not seeing results. Man, I imagine there's a lot of people out there that just have the same situation and just you know screw it. And then it may be other things, like could be work, it could be other things. But I think that's the good thing is there's always room to like change and improve. So I whipped up a plan, and I still a firm believer that maybe a little bit of intermittent fasting would do me good. Which I'm gonna, for the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna do intermittent fasting for 18 hours. So from 6 p.m. to 12. But obviously, if anything comes up and I have to be, then I could do it. Like I could start maybe fasting by 3 p.m. into the next day, or just to still keep the 18 hours fast. So it's quite good. Another thing is, I think normally during the week, I buy like a one treat, which would be like 4 donuts or a pack of cookies or something to spread them out the week. But it's not that common, because like I get them and then it'll last like 2 days. So can't really trust myself on that. But I'm thinking, I'm still a firm believer that if I do this intermittent fasting for the next 2 weeks, I believe that I get down to 100 kilograms. Now, to hold that to hold that on, is the problem with that is I'm quite like a person that, when you're doing something and it's slightly working, but when you do it for a certain amount of time, you just get bored of it. So I'm thinking that I can do it for the next 2 weeks. That's fine. I can fast and whatever. or maybe a little bit more fasting and trying to eat like healthy and then mix it well. But after like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I'm just gonna get bored. You know how boring it is to just not eat and then, for long periods of times and then you're eating and you're trying to like, when you're trying to do long periods of times. But you get people who just do the same routine for months and months and months. But yeah, that's not my case. So I'm gonna do that for the next 2 weeks. So I'll carry on as normal. I need to give up maybe milk. I'm thinking that possibly the milk and cheese is keeps me very bloated or something. But definitely next 2 weeks I'm gonna do the fasting, 18 hours, and I weigh myself there. Also with the weighing, it's best to weigh myself every 2 weeks. So it's like interval weight checks just to keep afloat. I mean, I'm not gonna do that again because if you plan for 8 weeks and you're not gonna weigh yourself, you wanna see how you're doing, then yeah, it could be more disappointing. So I thought every 2 weeks, check the weight and then judge it. And then if you need to tweak it, then you can tweak it and then let's see how the body reacts. But yeah, it's a lot of commitment, man. Anyways, after them 2 weeks, I'm going to do maybe what the doctor says. So he said to have light meals. So it could be a little bit high protein, veggies, it's a little bit mixed, but small portions. So I'm thinking of doing that. Like I'm thinking just because I eat 3 times a day, 3 or 2 times a day. So I'm thinking if I get do the normal meal, like for the first meal, and then just cut it in half. And that's what I do. So I cut it in half, I put it in a bowl or a container, and then I have it. And then within 2 hours, I have the next one, or 2 or 3 hours. And yeah, I keep having, and then it will kind of play quite well because I'm thinking, well, I don't need to add extra food because I know that I'm gonna eat in the next 2 or 3 hours. But it has to be light, like you said. So I'm thinking of doing that for the next 2 weeks just to check if they will make a difference in the body. Because that means I don't really need treats. Does that make sense? So let's say like in breakfast, I could have veggies and a little bit of beef and some eggs, and I make the bowl like a big bowl, and then I cut it in half and I put it in smaller bowls. Then I just noticed like I got another plate there that I can have within 2 or 3 hours, and then the next meal I could just cut it in half, and then done 2 hours, and then it might work. It might work. We just have to see how the body. I just have to see how the body will react when I do it. Will it be favorable to actually say, "Oh, I can work with this. It's not too heavy, and I can digest it fairly quickly." And then I know that I'm gonna have the next meal within 2 or 3 hours, so it's okay. Or maybe just it would become overwhelming of just constantly eating 3 or 4 meals. We don't know until we try. But at least I'm gonna try something that hopefully, yeah, gotta work. Also, bizarre how many people out there with different. Just have to find the method that your body works for you. I guess. I see like online people just taking. What can I say? They do kind of like count calories. There's other people who do, we do like intermediate fasting. Some people don't eat for 20 hours and then that works for them. They feel great and they're losing weight. And there's people that eat a structure of meals and they lose weight with that. Another bit, maybe, I don't know. Uh, yeah, it depends how the body works. Some people have calories and, or you've seen like the really slim people that they could eat anything and just don't gain weight. So, or people have to cut down and people with high metabolisms and yeah, man, it's crazy. But at least there's room to actually do change around and then it will be good. I think so. I think this is the path I go. Hopefully, I find something now and then I can work with because it would be nice to get down to the 100 kilos and then obviously get down to 95 and then the 90. You know how good that would be? Imagine getting down to 80 kilos. That's 24 kilograms just done. 24 kilograms less. Oh, how nice would that be? Yeah, like imagine just buying like a t-shirt when when you put on your t-shirt, and sometimes you don't like to have the love handle sticking out on the side. It's a bit kind of like you don't like it. But when you like have the nice V lines of yeah, like a nice like you don't have to fat around the waist too much. Oh yeah, hopefully I found something new, man. But I just wanted to express my what happened, and yeah, I think this is the plan that I'm willing to go and then see what happens. So yeah, yeah. All right. So what I wanted to say. Bye. Yeah.